our Dissidia going. So Dissidia should be in here somewhere. Sweet. We'll put that in our offhand. We'll pick up any and all spectral relays. It might need to be nighttime before I'll even see this stuff. So I might... What time is it? Is it daytime or nighttime? It is daytime, but it's almost nighttime. That's good. Let's get a few more relays. I don't know how many I'm going to need. Do I really have no more spectral relays? I can borrow these 4. Just so I have enough. So when nighttime rolls around, I can infuse these 2 with Dissidia. Assuming Dissidia is in the sky. If it's not, we'll have to wait another day, which will be stinky. So let's come back when it's nighttime. Okay, nighttime is upon us. Dissidia is hopefully in the sky. It looks like it is. Nice. Dissidia, you're doing a good job being up there in the sky. So let's place the ritual relay things here around the attunement altar guy. Doot, doot. Glad I grabbed a few extras. Psst, this is the part where you start working. Hey, there we go. I had an extra one down. That's why. Nice. All right, so let's now attune the celestial crystal here. And that should be cool. So I want both of these attuned to Dissidia, remember. Right? And as soon as they're both attuned to Dissidia, one of them will become a collection crystal, and one of them will be placed just on the altar to do the damage. Cool. So there's one. Hooray. And now Celestial Crystal 2. We will go. And now if I want a collector... For some reason you can never see collector crystals in JEI when you search for collector. I don't know why that is. But if you search for Celestial, you get these. Yeah, weird. But if I do that, I should be able to see the collector crystal recipes. So I need 4 Stardust, 4 Illumination Powder, and 4 Resonating Gems. Cool. I should have some Stardust. I've got 2. To do... Where's my iron? I think I stopped... Well, I didn't totally stop it, apparently. I don't know why I only have a stack of iron. I feel like I should have more than that. But, hey... Collector Crystal. I wonder if I can... Can I... I think I can bind this dude. Let's take this off my thing here. Selected... I think I can do that, right? Oh, that's cool. This would be very easy to automate, by the way, if we were so inclined. Nice. That's really fast, too, because it's a, really high-tier celestial crystal. So I'll just leave that set up there. And we'll turn some of this into dust. Well, we'll turn it all into dust. Why not? Well, no, that's furnace. We don't want to do that. We want the pulverizer. Nice. That's cool how fast that happened. These top-tier celestial crystals on an altar. Pretty quick, huh? All right, so 4 of you, and the rest can go away. 4 illumination powder. And I don't know if I have extra of the glowy ones. I don't. So let's make sure I've got my bucket ready to go. I should have a bucket around here somewhere. And some aquamarines. I should have more aquamarines. Cool. So over here, I'm going to do this guy, where you get dropped, or do you get right-clicked? I always forget. Some of these things you drop them, and other ones you right-click. And I must be hurting for some liquid somewhere. There. There we go. Nice. So we need 4 of these dudes, and we should be cool. All the particle effects. I'll be back in a second once I get all 4 of these. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure which one of these, if it matters, but I'm going to go ahead and put the slightly lesser purity-based one. I'm going to make that one the one that goes... here. Now, of course, I always And I keep saying that I forget, but I always forget which one of these two goes here like this. There we go. Sweet. So that's going to be a collector celestial crystal for me. And this one stays just a tuned celestial crystal. It doesn't need to be a collector. And that's going to go into the ritual itself. Nice. Now for the ritual, let's get this guy out. I don't need this parchment anymore. And you are in the attunement stage. I need to figure out how to build the ritual pedestal. There we go. So we're going to need 20 marble arches. Ah, good. There it is. Celestial Collector Crystal. Okay, so let's get some marble collection going on. So we're going to want our chisel. Cool. And we're going to want some marble. Cool. All right, so 20 arches. Okay. 24 bricks. Do we have marble bricks? We do already, so that's cool. 24 bricks. We're going to want 1 chiseled and 12 regular marble. 1 chiseled and 12 regular marble, and the rest can go away. So let's go build this thing. And I'm basically going to put it right next to, I mean relatively close to, this dude. So what I'll probably want to have is maybe like right here can be the center, which is the chiseled. And then if I remember, it's 1, 2, 3 in each direction. With the bricks. And then what I'll do is probably just fill the rest of this in with sandstone, just to make it kind of look nice and flat in this terrain area. Cool. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Limestone, netherrack. I do like this thing on the bottom right. Looks really good. And then here, 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 and here for the last of the bricks, right? And then in these guys goes the marble. Okay. The plain marble. Cool. And then all around the outside is where this stuff goes. Cool. And that should be perfect. And then I can place down my ritual dude in the center, and we'll place our attuned crystal right there. Sweet. So what that should be doing is harming any withers that show up. Okay, so I want to demonstrate the difference between a regular crystal that's ready to go and like celestial collector crystal with, you know, lenses and whatnot. So to demonstrate that as best as possible, I would like to get some wither skeleton skulls and some soul sand. Cool. And we're going to pop over in this direction and see how this works out. So what I'm going to do is spawn a wither. So to do that, I just want you to be active without redstone. Oh, it's active. It doesn't really matter. You and you. And that should make a wither. And let's see, if possible, how long it takes for this thing to die as a result of Basidium. Hopefully effectively. Basidium may not even work during the day. Look, he's taking a little bit of damage. Look at his health bar. He's taking a really small amount of damage. You see that? Like really small. Now, granted, it's daytime, so that doesn't always help. But I'm gonna get a Celestial Collector Crystal here, and I'm going to help this thing out. So what I'm gonna do is pop this dude here and linking tool him into this. Now he should start taking more damage. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. definitely not, you know, ideal. But we'll come back in a minute. So hey, guess what? We just killed the Wither. Sweet. And boy, is this room bright. I can't even figure out where the entrance is. It is just assaulting my eyeballs. But I've got Nether Star, so yay. So you go away, you go away, you go away. I want to wait for nighttime and see what it looks like, and then we're going to do our lenses. Before I do my lenses, I really like how it looks having the lenses on those marble pillar things. So I definitely want to grab a few marble pillars. By the way, the top of any, or the top limit of any ritual is going to be 5 lenses, redirecting the light. So just as an FYI, 5 lenses is all you need. The other thing to note, by the way, is every time you restart the ritual, that location of the lenses changes. So it'll always stay the same as long as you don't break it. But if you break one of these marble arches or you remove the thing, so like see how the laser kind of, it terminates about here, right? If we remove this dude from the ritual and then replace him, well, even if we break the ritual thing, right? And then replace it, right? What we'll see is that beam is now over here. So those destinations kind of always change. So let's come back in a minute. I want to see what it looks like at nighttime, and then I'm going to redirect the laser energy, and hopefully we'll be in good shape. All right, looks like as good a time as any to test this guy. So let's shrink down into forest bird form. These guys again. We've got a wither spawning. Nice. And while that goes, I'm going to be preparing to do some of this. So basically, without refocusing the crystal, how's it work during the nighttime? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Really nice, actually. So we're going to link that dude there. So we'll let that thing run first. We'll let that dude there. And that's going to do even more damage to him. So pretty much every upgraded lens that we add on here yields more damage on the Wither. And another Nether Star. Sweet. Now if we... this dude, Link. And then one more. Oh, nice. We're getting the Dissidia image down there. We've got one more to go then. And this should be the last linkage required. Sweet. That looks cool. So let's see how fast it is now. Wither go. Nice. So this ritual will kill and damage any hostile mobs nearby, especially and including the Wither. Nice. That's pretty quick. I like it. Not too shabby. Not bad at all. So then the next test is going to have to be, how does this work during the day? So let's... you, and we'll be ready with you. So I want to see this during the day now with the angled, focused lenses and all that stuff. And we'll see how that works out, okay? So let's make sure that you're set to go to the Wither spawner. Whoosh. And down into this area we go again. Sandstone, be ready, because I want to fill in this spot real quick. You guys go. And let's see what happens now. Hopefully nice and good. Yeah. Almost exactly the same in terms of speed. It might be a little bit slower, but not to the point where it's even noticeable. Or do I care? Okay. Okay, so now let's do this. 2 things I want to do. First, I wouldn't mind making a ranged collector with an ender chest. Okay, so ender chest and ranged collector, and you know what I'll probably want is item ducts. Let's get some impulses and we'll get some servos. Now, technically, there's obviously two different approaches I could use here, right? This one should be good. So there's two different approaches I could use to this, right? I could either have the ranged collector from, which I totally made and then didn't get. I kicked off the craft for it, but I didn't take it out of the system. I could go ranged collector, or I could do the ender hopper, right? And I could stick this just directly on top of a thing. Do you have to be an unstable ender pearl now? Okay, cool. I can do that. Not a problem. So, not entirely sure which one I'm going to want. We'll find out. Because this one should work. It takes a few seconds for this one to register, though. It's the only thing we want to keep in mind with this setup. You were supposed to go on top, by the way. Cool. So let's give it a go then. And there's another thing I want to test, by the way. Check this out. You ready? You ready for this? 1, 2, 3 withers at a time. Yeah. That's what's up. Boom, boom, boom. Withers for days. So, to note is that even during the day, they die pretty quickly, and it doesn't seem to weaken per mob that it's hitting. So now all those nether stars should be picked up. The only thing we have to worry about now is all this experience that's dropping, which we obviously have a solution for. The thermal doohickey. What is it? In the enchanter... I forget. It's whatever... Where's that book? There it is. Tome of Knowledge. Do I have experience in you or what? Okay, so you're empty. So what I'm going to do is just... So we're going to want 2 iron gears. I want one of you. Device frame. We're going to need a copper gear. And that should be cool, right? So the insightful condenser. And then... so how much of this have I gotten? You're like barely full, right? So what I could do is make an ender tank to collect this stuff. That would be cool. So we don't need a ranged collector. What I'll do is get an ender tank. So I'm going to want 2 of you. I'm going to want 2 of you. And then I'm going to want some green dye. Let's get 6 of it, and we'll call this our experience collection system, right? And what we'll basically have here then is 1, 2. They'll be green, 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 because experience is green. Makes sense? Cool. So then we will teleport back over to here, and I probably don't need... So how are we for nether stars? We're like doing pretty good. Look at this. Building up nether stars, and I'm going to put away a couple other things I don't need at the moment. That looks good. All right. So let's set up this system. So basically what I'll have, we'll probably want... This thing can sit right here for the time being, and we will configure you for bottom auto output enabled. So in theory, I should be able to do this, and then let's see what happens. 2, 3. And a few moments later, we've got liquid experience in an ender tank. Sweet. That is cool. All right, so then what I'm going to do is teleport home. And I guess for now, this will be where I collect liquid experience. Right? So if I right-click this, it should drain into the tank below automatically. Sweet. So any liquid experience we get from our wither farm will automatically drain into this portable signalum tank, which is also collecting the wither skeleton stuff. And any other portable experience we need to get can also do that. Cool? Cool. All right, I found another side effect of the upgrade. Baked ham is totally nerfed. Holy cow, that is nerfed. We're going to have to find a better food source because that is not as good as it was last patch. All right, so experience done. I guess the next thing we'll probably want to do. So let's get another ender chest. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll get 2 of these. We'll get some ink sacks. How are we for ink sacks? We're not bad. We'll get 2 of them. And we'll make it black, white, white. Will be what we use to store the appropriate amount of resources, right? So to do this, we're going to want a filter. Resonant filter times, well, yeah, 1 should be good. And then we're going to want some servos. 1, 2 of you. And then we're going to want some item ducts. And we're going to want an interface. Cool. And what we'll do is the following. So let's put a bunch of stuff away except all that, right? And then I guess in my basement here somewhere, kind of how I was going to do this before, what I could have is my interface is what needs to be placed first. I'm just waiting for that to finish crafting. There you are. And then an item duct, and then one of these dudes, okay? And you're going to be filtered to whitelist, let's say 10 at a time of wither skeleton skulls and that, right? And you're going to keep 1 and 1. So what that should do is quickly transfer 10 wither skeleton skulls and 10 soul sand into this dude. Okay. Now what I might want to do, can I, let's do 8 at a time. So you should be pretty smart about that, right? So now you're keeping 8 in there. I'll put this away. This will filter back into that, and that should be that. And then I should just need to teleport over to this dude. Okay. And what we're going to want to have here, I'm going to move you. I might need, oh, did you? No, you didn't. Okay, good. There. You're going to go here. I will close off this side of things. Boom. I will place this guy here. And you're going to be configured right now for active on redstone signal. Okay? And we're going to use the redstone servos that we discovered last episode in a minute here, right? But if I set you to ignored, what you should do is extract the appropriate amount of soul sand and wither skeleton skulls, and then automatically restock. Until we run out of wither skeleton skulls and soul sand, of course. And then, let's get some structure ducts. And 2 redstone relays. Bada bing, bada boom. Right? And a lever. And I haven't entirely decided how I want this to work yet. But what I'll probably just wind up doing is you can be redstone output. And you can be here. Wrong one. So now if we do this, and you can be your redstone input, and we put a lever here. In theory, this is flip leather and spawn withers. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. And now it should stop spawning them, right? And what we should see happen, is lots of noise. I'm going to back up a little bit because of the noise. And then the stars should drop, they should be picked up, and that should be like a 100% automated nether star machine. We just flip lever, spawn withers, like that's it, and kill them. It is a single redstone signal equals death to withers. Kinda cool. It's kinda super cool. And you can see the particle effects from the ender stuff going on in there. And that should be spiffy. Should be super spiffy. And then we should have nether stars over here. Nice, 13. That is cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's see. How are we for Wither Skeleton Skulls? We have 4 left, so I feel like we could use a few more. That should take care of that. Cool. And then you're gonna be vacuum hopped up with that thing, and you're cool. All right, good deal. Dudes, we completed all our objectives, right? Let's teleport over there. Boom. So your job was to have a lever that could spawn withers, and automatically kill them, and keep them safe, and all that good stuff. And I think we've completed our objective. So we did a little mix of multiple mods here, obviously. So many mods that we used, it's insane. But Actual Sorcery was the main one for the killing and capturing of the Wither. And then spawning it was Industrial Foregoing and Thermal Expansion and Dynamics for the collection of some other resources. And Ender Chests, and I mean, lots of things. But I'm very proud of this system because it works beautifully. It is flip lever, get nether stars. It is a nether star lever. That's what it is. When you're getting a redstone signal over here, you will start generating nether stars until you stop getting a redstone signal over here. And that's pretty spiffy. At least until you run out of wither skulls or soul sand, which is extremely likely to happen at some point. So that's cool. We could get something to deal with the noise. So there's the muffler. That's doable, right? Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, boop-boop-boo. Wither Boss Death Muffler. That's fine, I don't need that right now. But if I go and put this over in this general direction, it should make things a little less annoying sound-wise. Now, if only I had a glare reducer. That should be... There we go. We'll get a few of them in there again. You know what I wanted to check, by the way? Because I haven't yet. Is when this is running. Way better voice sound-wise, right? Ow. How are we on power on this thing? Oh yeah, you're definitely hurting for power down here. So that's not going to power that appropriately. We're gonna, have to figure something out. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty perfect. I mean, the concept's all there, right? We just need to, transfer more power into this general direction. We can do that with the RF tools thing. But I mean, look how many withers we just killed. How cool is that? And definitely better audibly wise, right? Beautiful. Actual Sorcery. I'm liking you, dude. I'm definitely liking Actual Sorcery a bit. It is cool. It is very cool. Alright, back home. I suspect that is a good idea. And how many stars do we have now? Like 20. Ha! Nice. So I think what I'm going to do then is wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next episode and have a little bit more fun. So we've got a world download for you guys. So it's episode 60, so you get a world download, right? And then you've also got, obviously, an automated wither star machine, or nether star machine, so that's pretty spiffy. We'll come back next episode and put some of those nether stars to use. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy. Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 61 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Today, I'm keeping an eye on my Void Miner Mark II. And I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit slow. And by a little bit slow, I mean it's really kind of slow. So I've not that we're like hurting for resources, but I really do want to kind of tech up environmental tech, and it's almost funny because with the Void Ore Miner, my priority is getting like the environmental tech that we need for the next tier of environmental tech, and it's almost like all the resources that we're getting, like, you know, all the different stuff, is like a side effect. It's hilarious. But I'm curious to see if I have what I need to make a tier 3 Void Ore Miner, just so we can kind of start getting the tier 4 material, Palladium Crystal. Yeah. So we're getting Chironite Crystals, right? We've got a healthy amount of them, actually. So to get a tier 3 Void Ore Miner controller, we're going to need 6 blocks of those, and it looks like we're also going to need 1 block of diamond. Not a big deal. So we're going to want like 6 blocks of these dudes. Cool. And then if we want structure frames, tier 3, because that's what we're going to need. So we need 2 chironite per structure frame that we're going to want. So let's snag out of this here box this dude. Boing, boing. There we go. So in order to get the next tier, we're going to need 56 structure frame tier 3, which means we're going to need about 112 chironite crystals. And I think we have a little bit less than that. And we have 93, so we're not far off. We need like 20 more of these dudes, and then we'd be good, I think. And then we could get like a tier 3. And then to go along with that, let's see, there's 4 modifiers in this tier, but there's 8 in the next tier. And we could do a few things with modifiers from environmental tech, which would be neat. We could definitely take a look at, let's see, environmental tech modifier. So there's 4 of them. There's the speed, the piezo, and the accuracy. So speed makes it run more quickly. Accuracy makes it so that when you have a specific lens type, it will be more accurate. So like, for example, right, when we look at this, it's like a 5.5% chance with the crystal lens, right? If we put an accuracy modifier, it might go up higher. I don't know the exact number that it goes up, so I'm not sure in what way it goes up. But then like the speed modifier also makes it go faster. So I don't know. We'll try maybe a couple accuracies and a bunch of speeds. That's probably where we would be at. So I'm guessing the best approach for right now might be a little of this. So I'll come back in a minute. I want to speed upgrade this guy a little bit just to get him to the point where we've got like 20 more of these things, and then I'd like to upgrade this thing to tier 3. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the 4 speed upgrades because we now have mica, right? So we should be able to autocraft speed upgrades and modifiers for this environmental tech thing, and that'll just help me. So it'll speed it up without the wand, right? But then it'll speed it up even more with. So let's throw these in here, and you kind of saw in the last segment what the speed looked like. The speed modifiers in it. So I'm going to remove the null modifiers, and I'm going to install these dudes. Let's try and put our magnet back on and see if we run into any other issues with it. I've kind of had my magnet off the last 2 episodes because, not that I'm having issues with it, but like, you know, we're doing stuff that magnet interferes with, basically. Cool. Alright, so with those 4 things in, we should be a little bit better now. So are you running more quickly? So let's see how fast or how much more. Yeah, that's definitely faster. You guys saw from the last segment that, you know, oh yeah, that's a huge improvement. So now if okay, yeah, wow, that quickly, that really makes a difference, doesn't it? Holy cow. We might want to look at getting the top tier flux ducts going on here. What do we got for flux ducts, guys? So there's 2 more options, right? We could go with resonant flux ducts, which are cool. That'll bump me up from 16,000 arithmetic, which I've got now, to 25,000. Or we could go cryo-stabilized, which doesn't have a limit. We're not quite at the point where cryo-stabilized is going to make any sense for us, but that's okay. I could maybe go resonant. I should at least like teach this thing how resonant flux ducts are made. So resonant flux ducts is simply 3 signalum, 3 redstone, and an inderium ingot. That ain't terrible. Or you can put destabilized redstone into one of these dudes. I think what I'll do is just do the sequential upgrade, right? Because the way this works is it's that plus the empty flux ducts. So there's no sense in making this and then filling it with redstone, because I already have it filling redstone for this one. So I'm just going to teach it this recipe and call it a day. Also, one of the things I might get into either this episode or very soon. So by the way, can I do flux ducts resonance now? Yay! Can I get like 40 of you? Would that be a really improper thing to ask? Probably not. We'll let that roll. So yeah, speed upgrading this really doesn't seem to help much because we have nowhere near enough power to support the speed upgrade. But like by like default, this thing's running a lot more quickly now, so that's kind of cool. All right, back in a minute. Interestingly, though, we're definitely using like 5,000 RF a tick, so huge change in terms of, you know, power usage here from what it was before. It was like around 1,000 or 1,500, right? So faster, but also more energy hungry. Makes sense. By the way, guys, looks like something changed in the pack. Signal and Blend used to be 2 Signal and Blend, 1 sand is 2 ingots. Now it's 1 to 1. So, FYI, keep that in mind. Update your recipes. So, guys, I was keeping an eye on my compact machine room that's currently doing a relatively decent job of maintaining things and processing, but we're out of petroleum. And the reason we're out of petroleum is because we ran out of clay. So let's go take a look at that. Yeah, so if we pop down into here, we'll see that some of our machines are stuck, specifically the pulverizer here and the pulverizer here that are responsible for doing things because they're out of petroleum, right? And the reason we're out of petroleum is we have plenty of obsidian and bath salts and all that stuff, but we never did automate clay, and now feels like a good time as any because we need it. And we actually have like a really good and cool way of doing it too, because we have a pretty high level tier of astral sorcery going on. So kind of curious. So over here, this guy's doing a good job. I'm just curious, like, how fast you would be if you only had one to focus on. Now, clearly, it's like rainy and daytime, so this is like the least efficient time to potentially do this. You're still, oh wow, look at you. You are really low on power, aren't you? Okay, no wonder this thing's taking so long. Wonder if I could like sleep. Probably not in a position where I can sleep. It's probably a thunderstorm or something like that. But yeah, we are surprisingly low on power, unless like, you know, there's starlight going into this, and that's why this thing looks low. But I'm assuming it's because it's rainy out. It's like bad weather. All right, so you make clay. It's not that quick right now. So maybe I could... How could we do this? So let's think about different ways we could set this up. I'm thinking the most efficient way. Well, there's a couple different ways. Let's do this. Let's get a block placer. An auto placer, yes. And let's get a crafter. Do I want to do crafter or do I want to do keep in stock? I might want to do keep in stock so that we have a certain amount of clay in stock at all times. Yeah, let's do that way. Instead of crafting on demand with this, I want to do keep in stock clay. So in that case, what I'm going to do is get a constructor and a destructor, which I may not have taught this thing how to make, but I'm doing that now because I have my dire derp. Destructor. So that will, so constructors place blocks and destructors break blocks. And I'm pretty sure they won't break with Silk Touch unless you give them a Silk Touch upgrade. Therefore, what's going to happen is when we break clay, we will get clay instead of blocks of clay, which we don't want, right? So that's cool. So we've got that stuff. We might want also a detector of some kind. Yeah, refined storage detector would be nice to have. And then we're going to want like a lot of refined storage cabling. So let's get like a stack of that or so, and some sand. And that should be pretty good. All right, so doing a little experimenting, I discovered something. When I had this collector crystal linked to all these blocks here, like these 4, even if it wasn't operating on them, it was reducing the amount of starlight that the altar got. So like, yeah, that's faster. So simply by having this linked here, right? So like, I'll link them, right? And that's reducing the starlight that the altar gets. See, significant drop, regardless of the fact that it's daytime or cloudy or whatever. So it wasn't because it was cloudy, it was because I had it linked to multiple blocks. And even when it's done working on these blocks, it will continue to not be strong. So that's kind of good to know. So let's set up a little bit of automation with how we'd like this to work. So what I'm thinking we would do, you probably need line of sight to that, right? So like, check this out, right? I remove these blocks and you still, even though you're not doing anything to these blocks, the beams are still there, so that's bad. So what I'm going to want to do is unlink you right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will stay linked. And now if we go look at our astral dude, he should be getting lots of power again. Nice. And this one's going to operate more quickly now, which is pretty cool. So we'll put down here, let's put our destructor, right? So let's make you granite for now. I don't know. I don't even know if granite does anything, but we'll find out. And then I'd kind of like this to be a little bit hidden, but I'm pretty sure I can't link this any lower. So let's see if you can like link to something you don't have line of sight to, right? Is there any chance that would work? I want to say probably not, but I think I have a way to make it work. I think I do. Where's my astral sorcery book? There's a thing we can do about this. I believe the spectral lens here should work. So we're going to want a couple resonating gems. Illumination powder, glass lens. So let's see. A couple aquamarines. Illumination powder. Stardust. Glass lens. You guys are going to want to get upgraded with the resonating wand. Go. Always with that. I got to figure out a way to automate that so that these things are always taken care of. Please. So that that doesn't happen anymore. Cool. So that looks good. Go on now. Thank you. Did you do the thing again? You did. Which one of these is missing? This one. There we go. Nice. Alright, so in preparation or advance of doing this. So let's see. If I take you and unlink this one, because that's not working, obviously, right? What we're going to do is make this spectral lens, which should allow me to transmit starlight through blocks. And then I can have this thing hidden underground so that it's not above ground and obvious, right? So lens, illumination on the sides. You, and you. And is it just in the far corners? Yeah, okay, that looks cool. You can go away for a minute. So now the other thing we're going to want to go along with this is a glass lens. And one of them should be all we need. Maybe we'll stick it here. Now this should give me my spectral lens, which I can put on this dude. Sweet. That's kind of nifty. And what I'm going to do is bind you. Now let's just watch, right? So fully charged, bind you to here. Right? And now that should be a little bit less power going to this. But that's okay. Now underground, let's do it maybe one more. So I'd like you to kind of beam directly down to this block. Right? So this will be the block that we convert to clay. Then we just need to do this to that. And it should beam straight through the solid matter, right? And that should be cool, in theory. Doesn't look like it is, but it should be. Pretty sure that's the point of the spectral lens. Now it says it weakens the beam a little bit, so it might take a little longer to convert to clay, but it should work. Alright, cool. So it looks to me like, for whatever reason, going straight down didn't work. But putting it here and then directing it there did. So that's cool. So now, when I place sand here, it'll get converted to clay. Sweet. So that's nice, because what that's going to help me to do, I'm going to get some sand, I'm also going to get some sandstone just ready. So what I'm going to want here is basically, yeah, you're going to just be a nuisance, aren't you? This is what I get for building in a desert biome. But that's alright, we'll manage. Alright, so let's connect this up to our refined storage system so we can get constructors and destructors and everything working over here. So I'll be back in a second once I run this cabling off camera. Alright, you know what, guys? I changed my mind. As much fun as it sounds like to run a bunch of cabling, I can do wireless. So that's what I'm going to do. So another network transmitter. I'm building my network transmitter subs. There we are. So you can go there, network transmitter. Over here, we'll put our receiver. We'll configure this appropriately. Yay, business. So what we'll do... Why are there monsters here? There shouldn't really be monsters. But that happens every now and then. I've reported it to the Astral Sorcery mod author. He's like, yeah, it's weird. It should be preventing mob spawns. It's definitely got enough power. So I think there's something a little bit weird. He's looking into it right now to figure out why every now and then that ritual up top like stops preventing mob spawns. Okay, so you're cool. Right, so we'll get that going. So let's set up our destructor on here. We'll set up our constructor on here. We'll set up our network receiver here. We will bind the card. Linked. Cool. I should probably configure that a little better, but we'll figure it out. So when I do this, it should break that block over there once I put this in here. It's linked. So that clay should be gone now, in theory. Cool. Okay. Now, can I filter clay on you, or do I have to do clay block? That I'm not 100% sure of, but we'll find out. So that, you'll do your thing. And let's see if it converts to clay and then immediately sucks it up. Because that would be awesome. Go on now. You can do it. Okay, no. But that's alright, because I could try this, and this should work. Nice. That's what's up. Okay, cool. So then if I put you here, you should play sand, and that'll be good. So I'm going to set this thing to only work either one, really. It doesn't matter which one I set to be redstone mode. I guess I'll make this one redstone mode only. And then we'll put our level emitter thingy detector.